So let's talk about real dog training, shall we? Certification. Who wants it? Who needs it? Professionalcanineacademy.co.uk. The Professional Canine Academy. So I'm going to play a recording of me speaking to someone who's a dog trainer in a minute. It's nothing to do with these people. I must stress I've not put the lady's business up because I don't want to name her, but I thought she was very refreshing. She said it the way she saw it, and we had a good debate. This is what it should be. It should be about debating. I've tried to contact Professional Canine Academy and talk about their ideology of what they're trying to achieve. So, what is relevant when it comes to I've got professional certification behind me, or qualification, shall we call it? So Steve Morton says here, there's no governing bodies over dog trainers in this country, so recognised by who? Yeah, exactly, Steve. You're dead right. So the author came back and said, Steve, this is and as you can see, you can read it. You go to one trainer who gives you a certificate, an accreditation. They may be a purely positive. So you've got the certification for that, but you haven't got it for anything else. If you change your method of training, technically this academy will ask you for your qualification back because they didn't train you that way. They only trained you in a positive manner. Now, how do I know this? Because people have contacted me and people have spoke to me about this training academy. So yes, you get certification, I can't even say it, from these people to give you the right to say, I'm now a professional dog trainer. But if you're closed mind, or you've been taught by people with a closed mind, and they only go down the positive route, then you're missing a massive part of the understanding about the dog psychology. That's what this is about. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you a conversation that was had today with a trainer, because I am going to start asking trainers, where's the best place to go to get qualification? And what does a qualification mean? Is it going to make you a busier trainer? Is it going to make you a better trainer? I'm all for education. This is what I'm trying to do on the internet. I'm trying to educate. But people don't want to debate most of the time. And I take my hat off to this lady because she did. She openly talked about it. She didn't try and pull the wool over people's eyes and say she's something she's not. She calls herself a behaviourist because she's studied dog behaviour at college. She's got a college course, but she sticks to what she knows. And what's the easiest thing to stick to? What you know. So she says, if it's a specialist sport, like I'm into gun dogs, that's what I like to stick to. But I like to learn from every aspect of dog training. It's as simple as that. So I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and I hope it was worth doing. Thanks a lot. I want to train a dog and get a certificate. I want to learn how to train dogs and get a certificate for it. Can you tell me what how much did it cost and how long is the course, please?
I don't do courses like that. I don't. I teach people how to train their dogs.
Right. And you're in Swanage.
I'm in Swanage, yeah.
So when you say dog training academy, a canine academy,
yeah,
you're not a training school then?
Not if you want to become a trainer.
Right. So what do you do then? Because I mean, there's no point in paying the money if it's not suitable for me. It may be brilliant, you know.
So basically, do you want to train your dog, or do you want to learn to become a trainer to teach people how to train their dogs?
Well, I'd like to learn how to train lots of other dogs as well as my own dog, but I'd like to be. Is there any such thing as accreditation anywhere? Like,
yeah,
there is there?
Right. What I recommend you do if you want to learn how to become a trainer yourself, I mean, yes, me teaching you to train your dog would, obviously, I'm teaching you, so yes, that would give you, knowledge and insight, but it wouldn't give you the certification that you would need on doing all the give you practical, but it wouldn't give you all that sort of written. Now, there is the Cambridge Institute of Dog Behaviour and Training.
Right.
You'll find them online, and they do distance learning as well as practical courses.
Right. So I found you online, and you've got the Kennel Club next to your name.
Yeah.
Right. So are you Kennel Club registered trainer?
I was. I just haven't kept up with the payments on remaining part of their scheme because
right. So
it doesn't do anything for me.
When you say it doesn't do anything for you, is that because are you purely positive, or are you sort of use corrections with leash correction and stuff like that as well, or because I did contact sorry to interrupt. I did contact someone who was KC, and they said no, it has to be purely positive if you're a canine trainer.
Yes, they do go on all the positive methods, which I work with, but they don't do any sort of follow up, which is exactly the same with like the APDT and other institutes.
Yeah.
They basically might come out once and watch your methods, but if your methods change, or you want to use correction at all, they don't constantly come out and see what you're doing.
Right.
They just they come out, they do that one visit. If you tick all the boxes, then that's it. They just want your annual membership.
So it's all about membership then with some of these big companies then.
Yeah, they're companies, they're businesses.
Do you know? I like your honesty, to be honest with you, because so many people, they seem to want to just flob somebody off with yes, this certificate means you're a professional trainer. When sometimes, if it's not recognised by other organisations, then you're not classed as, it's a waste of money, isn't it? It's a waste of paper.
It is basically your annual fee. They are just like businesses. The Kennel Club is just a business.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like with registrations, dog registrations.
Yeah.
They can be falsified.
Yeah.
Kennel Club don't follow it up. All they want is the money.
Yeah, sure. So have you heard of the Professional Canine Academy? That's advertised on the internet.
I've not heard of those ones, no. The Cambridge Institute is good.
Right.
They are good.
Brilliant.
You will get your qualifications from them.
But is it recognised by good trainers in the industry, or is it just people who want to sort of have some qualification? Because if I brought my dog along to you, you might say, oh, he's trained very nicely, or you might say, oh, you got no chance, you're going to have to work on this for a number of years. And I'd rather have somebody honest to give me an appraisal of what my dog's like and what I'm like as a trainer with me timing and all that.
What you've got to remember within the industry,
yeah,
you will only get the results you get from the person that you're teaching. Now, if that person doesn't put the work into their dog,
sure,
then their dog isn't going to get any better, and therefore they then turn around and go, so I went there, it was useless.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But, it doesn't mean the place is useless. It means that owner has just gone along to those classes, done something within that class for, say, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Not continued it at home.
Yeah.
Where they're meant to. And then turn around and go, no, it was useless.
So have you got a specialist area of training? Is it like agility, or is it obedience?
I basically work mainly with the obedience and behaviour.
Right. Are you a behaviourist, or is that another joke?
No, I am a behaviourist.
Right. So
I do behaviour and I do the training classes, and I find that behaviour is all part of that. You need to teach people about dog behaviour so they can understand what their dog's doing and why their dog's doing it.
Yeah.
And can also, I believe people should meet their dog halfway. We expect them to learn our cue sounds.
Yeah.
Now, we need to learn their language so we can meet them halfway.
Yeah.
Not just expect them to just learn all the human ways and human cue sounds.
Yeah.
So I find that behaviour is a big part of teaching people to obedience train their dog and have the sort of dog that they want.
Right.
You know.
So have you done the Cambridge thing as a behaviourist?
I've done with the Cambridge Institute.
Lovely.
And I've done with the Cambridge Institute.
Yeah.
And I've also done with the Animal Care College as well.
What does the FSB mean? Because I've seen that on your internet. FSB member.
FSB member.
You've got it underneath your Kennel Club logo. It says FSB member.
Oh, FSB, that's Federation of Small Businesses.
Sorry, right.
I misheard you. I thought you said S. No, that's...
Sorry, my fault.
Business.
Yeah, so that's to do with small businesses, yeah.
Yeah, that's just to do with...
So if I came to you for training, how much would you charge? Is it per hour or is it per course?
Well, I do £10 per hour in a class situation.
In a class situation. And how many people roughly in a class?
I don't go above 8.
Lovely, yeah.
Because...
what about one-to-one?
One-to-one is £40 an hour.
£40 an hour, right, yeah. So would you do an assessment of a dog before you start giving... Would you...
Basically, my assessment is done. So, for instance, people that book a one-to-one...
Yeah.
Then I assess them and the dog on that first appointment.
Yeah.
I generally, the way that I work, I will watch the owner with the dog.
Yeah.
Not say anything, just say, okay, right, we're going to walk up here. We're just going to go for, what would be a normal walk. So I watch them with their dog.
Yeah.
And that then tells me where that owner is going wrong with that dog for whatever particular problem they have.
Right, so you're not looking for a competition here, or you're looking for just a basic obedience, are you?
Yeah, basically, I mean, people that want to do, competition work, then down here, they're very far and few between. And competition work is something that is different to your...
Specialist, you mean?
Yeah, it's something very different to your general, normal pet dog behaving.
So is that the people you're mainly dealing with? Pet people?
I mainly deal with pet people.
Do you know what? I love your honesty, because I've spoken to so many people, and you're not trying to just pull somebody in and take money off them, because I'm a gun dog specialist. Right? I train gun dogs, but I want to get certification for training. And so I didn't lie to you when I said I'm looking for certification. Where can I go? I just think that there's so many people on the internet, trying to sell themselves as a dog trainer. You've stuck to your area of what you train, and you've been honest with me on the phone. And I love that. But what I don't like is you've got people who are pet trainers trying to be gun dog trainers, and I watch it and I think, you ain't got a clue. You ain't got a clue about timing. You ain't got a clue about handling the dog. Why are you trying to be something you're not? But they come through these certifications of these academies that are short academies, get a certificate and say, right, now I'm fully qualified. I can go off training anything I want. Well, you get in trouble if you train protection dogs and bite work, or if it's not experienced in that area. That's why I said to you, what background have you got? And if you come from the behaviourist side, I can see that it's so important with pet people, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, I have never, ever done gun dog training. Never.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because I've not been into gun dogs. But yes, I used to work my German Shepherds years and years ago when in competition obedience.
Yeah.
So I know about the competition obedience. Yes, I've done agility.
Yeah.
And this part of agility is the obedience training. It's the drive, using the dog's drive and getting them to sort of control and contain that drive.
Yeah.
And have that obedience, and then following and working with you.
You're dead right, because it's the same as the gun dogs. We're not there to suppress drive. We control drive, but we don't take the drive away from the dog. Well, if you were just working with pet people and the dog is too boisterous, you need to calm that dog down. Completely different kettle of fish than working dogs. I'm not trying to catch you out here on anything. I just wondered.
Oh no, I don't think you are for 1 minute.
Yeah, I just wondered where people go in reality when they've got knowledge like I've got as a dog trainer. Because if I brought my dogs to you, you'd go, not for me, because I'm not in that area. Like you've said on the phone, you're brilliant about that. But what I'm saying is, I'm fed up with people saying, yeah, but what qualifications have you got? I got 35 years knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, 35 years knowledge. I'll do any course they want, but don't treat me like a child. And
this is it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I started with dogs when I was 11.
Yeah.
I'm now 56.
Yeah.
And you will sail through the courses, and the only reason for doing those courses is they don't actually teach you sort of new things. Yes, pet people are different to gun dogs. You know, I've got people that have got gun dog breeds and have gone to gun dog training, but that's not what they need.
Yeah.
And they've got frustrated.
You're dead right, yeah.
Because it's not what they need, and they've come away from that trainer, and in a sense are going, that trainer wasn't any good, and it's no, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You went to gun dog training. It's a different field. It's not going to teach you how to deal with your dog in society.
Yeah.
And, you know, how to deal with your dog if it's yanking you around on the lead.
Exactly, yeah.
So you will sail through the courses. They won't teach you anything sort of new as such. Well, they didn't with me. They didn't teach me anything new. You know, and on, you know, some occasions with my tutor, especially, he was a very good tutor at the Cambridge Institute, I could have some really heated discussions with him over things.
I think that's the most important thing. We should be able to have debate, but it should be gentlemanly, or, you know, in a moderate way that we can learn from each other. Because the dog training world is a mess. You must know it's a mess. I know it's a mess. Yeah. The thing is, I don't go after clicker trainers. I don't go after food-based trainers. Only if they come after me and say, that's not the way to train dogs. That's barbaric. That's cruel. It gets ridiculous because it's them against us, and it shouldn't be. So I've opened my mind and looked at every method of dog training known to man that I can find. Yeah. So I'm ready to say, let's have a look at your certification and let's see if it's worth the salt. I'm not saying that I'm calling them out. Until you actually get put in that situation and study it and go down that road, you won't know what the criteria is, will you? So, like you said, the Cambridge one might be the one to look at. But does it really give me any further accreditation of what I've already got? If I'm really busy, I'm full with my books, customers come to me with problem dogs because I can sort problem dogs out. I understand what you're saying about pet dogs and people going to gun dog trainers. If you're going to gun dog trainers with little understanding, they won't be able to adjust and say this dog just needs obedience and showed some balance in the dog's life, what you want. You're dead right, because if I took my gun dogs into Tesco's car park, they want to hunt it. They wouldn't want to sit there quietly all in a row. No. You can train them to do that. I can train them to do that. But that's not what they were bred to do. They were bred to work in the field. But I've won competitions. See, I come from the competition side first. I won competition. I made a name for myself. Then I went professional. Then things changed completely, because now you're dealing with, like exactly what you said, people with gun dogs that are really pets. And then you're dealing with the people who want to be a gun dog, go on the shoots and work the dogs. And then you've got people who want to run in competition. So it's different areas. And you have to adjust that slightly for each person. But you're dead right. The majority of people that come here with a gun dog and they want it as a pet, but they've got problems, is because they've gone down the positive only road only, and they haven't got the other elements of the 4 quadrants that you could need to get the training right.
Well, this is it. You see, I will look at the person.
Yeah. So will I.
The dog.
Yeah.
As a combination.
Yeah.
It's what is going to work for that combination. And I do a hell of a lot with food, toys,
Yeah.
praise.
Yeah.
But it's like at the moment, I have got a client whose puppy is a puppy. It's a puppy.
Yeah.
They're elderly.
Yeah.
If you ask me, the breeder should never have bloody well sold them a cockapoo puppy.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they have.
Yeah.
Because that breeder is only interested in the money.
Yeah.
Yes, that breeder will take the dog back because that breeder knows if the dog comes back, it's got another price tag on it and there's a bit more profit involved in this.
Yeah.
And it's only being a puppy. But when you're 70 years old and you have got a puppy that is dragging on your clothing, biting your hand,
Yeah.
you go around there, you show them how to work the puppy,
Ground rules. Yeah.
that puppy, how to communicate with that puppy.
Yeah.
But they don't get it.
No.
They can't do it. They haven't got the energy to do it.
Yeah.
And so they then start saying, well, it's going to break our hearts, but we're going to have to get rid of this puppy. That's when I then will say, okay, I would not normally do this with a puppy, but there are training discs. There is noise consequence that you can add to a behaviour.
Yeah.
And it's just a bloody noise.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill your puppy, and if you do it correctly, you are going to be able to stop this behaviour and move forward with a good relationship with your puppy.
Yeah.
And there's other people that will go, oh no, that is totally wrong. So then what happens? Those people get broken-hearted. They send that puppy back. That puppy's screwed up even more, and then just go through life going through rescue.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we see because we've got people who train with us who are in the rescue homes and do it voluntary. And it's such a shame that there's that. It's all down to ideologies again, isn't it? It's all down to my method or don't do it. It's everything else is wrong. Where I disagree. I think that if you've got balance and you're willing to open your mind and look at things and not be negative about other people's training if they get results. That's the problem, isn't it?
Well, this is it, and it's down to looking at that combination of dog and person, taking them as the individuality that they are, and what that person can do and what that dog can do.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when I go out with somebody on a one-to-one, like I say, I watch them.
Yeah.
First off, and then I will say to them, okay, I can see where you're going wrong, explain where they're going wrong, and I will then take the dog.
Yeah.
And say, okay,
that's it.
Now we're going to carry on walking, and you can watch and see what I do.
That's it, yeah.
And of course, immediately they go, oh shit, my dog's not pulling.
Because the dog reads you, doesn't it? The dog reads you, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but look at the Cambridge Institute.
Will do. Brilliant. You've been really helpful. Thanks very much indeed.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Take it easy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. What a nice lady. I liked her openness. I liked the way she spoke. She didn't try and hide anything. She wasn't being guarded. And that's the problem with today's training. Finding people who will not just rip you off for the money. It's as simple as that. It's all about making money in the dog training world these days rather than giving a service. I think the service is far more important. I'm looking for results. Anybody that gets results, then I'm willing to sort of promote them. I don't know how this lady trains. I don't know whether she's a very good standard or average standard, but she come across very nicely.